Hello ladies and gentlemen, and as promised, here's my Doctor Who Season 8 Episode 7 review, Kill the Moon. And as promised, this one's going to be a fun one. Usually when I start these reviews, I don't start at the very first point of the episode. I start right near the beginning, because not everything I feel is worth talking about. But this time I'm going to start even before that. Kill the Moon. What a stupid title. You built up on the previous episode, on the next time, that there's going to be the spiders on the moon in a way as though these are going to be the threat. This is the problem. You've got to deal with these spiders. Then of course they have the twist that actually it's the moon is an egg and there's a giant alien creature inside the egg growing. And these spiders are only, they call them bacteria, but still bacteria is microscopic, so it would be parasites. I guess that's pedantic, but still. It's one of those things that would be simply done that you could say we're not killing the moon, or with the twist that in the episode where actually it's the moon itself which is a problem, if you called it Killers on the Moon, because then you say, you watch the next time trailer and you assume that the spiders are the killers on the moon, where then it turns out actually it's the people that are the killers on the moon. I think that would have made it a better twist, but it's called Kill the Moon, so you kind of see just looking at that there's going to be that twist and it's a bit too much. I may be looking a bit too much into it, but I personally feel Killers on the Moon would be a better title. But now we've come to it. The big controversial line where it said that the Doctor called Courtney not special. Now many people have argued that this is just not the Doctor, as there's a line in one of Matt Smith's episodes where he says, someone who's not special, I have never met anyone like that before, or something along them lines. I don't know the exact quote, but my problem with it is not that. I think that the Doctor does find people that aren't special, and you know what the Doctor does with people that aren't special? He ignores them. There's no point of talking to them, no point of listening to them, no point of arguing with them if there's nothing. So the Doctor wouldn't say you're not special, he would just tell her to go away. Not to mention that not only did he say that she was not special, he said it off screen. And I hate it when TV series or franchise films do this, when they want a character to do something that is against their character. Then what they do is they say, we need the character to say this something to set us up for this joke or this action, or as this turns out to be, this is the setup for the entire episode. Probably one of the weakest setups I've ever heard of. So they get the character to say this thing that's against what they say, but they say it off screen, so the character is still the character. It's stupid. If the character is said to have said it off screen and they admit to saying it off screen but not actually say it, they've still said it. It's stupid, it makes no sense. You might as well have just had a quick scene of him saying she wasn't special, which of course makes no sense whatsoever, because it's just not the Doctor. It's moronic. But obviously the Doctor does think she's special, because he let her on his TARDIS. In the previous episode, she went on the TARDIS. He actually showed her the TARDIS. It'd be one thing if she pushed past and saw the TARDIS, eyes wide open, but nope. He let her on the TARDIS. He even gave her a flight on the TARDIS. Yes, she threw up on the TARDIS, but still, the Doctor would not say this. It's moronic. Now, calling her not special is the setup so they could go to the moon, because naturally, that needs a big setup. So, why couldn't it just be, hey, she wants to prove herself to the Doctor after vomiting on the TARDIS, so she sneaks on board. She doesn't have to do it with an invisibility watch, because she just sneaks in behind. That would work. And if it's one of them things where she's not trying so hard, the Doctor doesn't pick up on it. Maybe. Anything is better than the setup they had. So they go up onto the moon, but it turns out they don't land on the moon, they land on a spaceship that's going to the moon. Okay, fair enough. And this spaceship has explosives because they want to blow it up, because the moon is causing problems with the Earth where it's killing loads and loads of people, or millions and millions of people. Here's a better idea. Rather than having that bullshit at the beginning where Courtney is saying, "Oh, I'm not special, do you really think that?" Why don't you cut that down to her just sneaking on the TARDIS and spend that time showing us something like a tidal wave or something big and dangerous caused by the moon which is killing people, because then we may care a little bit more. The setup for this means we don't care. The captain of the spaceship just comes across as a bitch. Sorry, there's no other way of putting it. And then as the episode goes along, I'm just going to cut a lot of this out because there's not much else to say. But the doctor leaves and says, "You want to blow up the moon? This is your decision." Now, the way I took this is the doctor just explains that the moon is actually an egg and there's this giant alien inside and it's hatching, and the captain's response straight away is, "How do we kill it?" And then he goes on about saying about how it's a living life, and Courtney says about how it's a baby, and it's still, how do we kill it? This thing's killing millions of people. How do we kill it and stop it? But it's not killing millions of people. It's not like I'm saying, "Mwahaha, I'm going to kill millions of people." No, it's just being hatched. So I think the reason why the doctor left is because he's got to that point where he is sick to death of friggin' idiots. The first thing is, how do we blow it up? How do we kill things? How do we do things for us? Fuck them, it's us. So he fucks off and says, "Well, you deal with it," which I actually liked, because this doctor, it seems to be a bit more down to the point. He's not faffing about. And another thing that's said during that part while if it's not this part, it's part where they're debating, do we blow it up or not, where she says, "What I see is all that life on Earth and this thing's just going to kill it. That's the life. That's life down there." Yes, but you're also standing on life. This giant alien that turns out to be the moon is life, and this proves that there's more life out there. So your whole argument there is null and void, so it's stupid. It's just, I'm an evil person that's looking out for number one, but I'm supposed to be sympathetic as the ones that I'm looking out for is humans, and you're a human, so you're supposed to get me. No, I don't at all. I don't get her. I believe that was the point of her, that she was supposed to be, because I'm human, you're human, I'm trying to save humanity, this is why you're supposed to kind of understand me. But if this was on the other foot, if this was an alien that was trying to kill humans because they were scared or whatever, then woo yay doctor, because he's protecting the Earth from the humans. But because the shoe's on the other foot, we're supposed to say, "Hey, humans are great, but yeah, this is a bit more difficult." But it's not. It's just moronic. This whole concept is moronic, ignoring the scientific impossibilities, and not just the fact that the moon's an egg. The fact when it grows, and tidal waves, and gravity on the moon, even though if the moon grows, the gravity would still be less than on Earth. Ignoring all that shit, it's just a moronic story. It makes no sense whatsoever. There's any good things. Courtney was pointless. She's a good character, but her position was pointless. She could have been anybody. I think possibly the reason why it was more moronic is this was more a Clara-centric story. Possibly. I'm just trying to think of anything why this completely, it's too much of a mess. But, and not to mention right at the very end, when Clara has a hissy fit because the doctor fucked off and left her alone. But what else? Why? She wanted to fuck off and leave them alone. She was like, "Oh fuck it, they don't blow up the moon because we know we've been in the future." And so why is it okay for her to do it, but not him? Is it because he left her behind? Because I felt like she needed it. She needed to good kick up the backside, and I don't believe she pushed that button because she wanted to save the alien. I believe the reason why she pushed that button was because she wanted to save herself. Because if the bomb blew up, she would be inevitably dead. but if the alien survived, there is a possibility that she could survive. And that's my belief. I could be looking into that way too much, but I'm trying to make sense out of this completely garbage story, and it's the only thing I can come up with. The opening is stupid, it makes no sense. The middle is stupid, it makes no sense. And the end is stupidest of all and makes no sense. The only thing I can see is the little halo of this episode comes in the next time. And what does that say? And that's the next time. I didn't see any Clara in it. Does this mean we're having a Clara-free episode? Because that would be brilliant. And I know I keep messing up her name. I keep saying Clara when it's Clara, but it just rolls off my tongue better, and oh well. I can't make heads and tails of this story. I've watched it 2 times now. I've made notes. The notes are a mess. But hey, I hope you've enjoyed this review. Believe it or not, I have. I always feel better after a good rant. So I suppose that's one positive for the episode. Hey! If you have enjoyed it, please like, favourite and subscribe. Comment below if you can find any sense of this episode at all. Anything, even if you can make sense out of the damn title, because I can't. Please write down in the subscription. I want to make some sort of sense out of this mess. But yeah, I am the Food. Thanks for listening.